Should you watch Severance? Well, let's put some facts together. First off, Severance is about Mark S., who leads a team of office workers whose memories have been surgically divided between their work. And I'm not spoiling anything here because this is at the very beginning of the show and it's the premise of the show. So, when a mysterious colleague appears outside of work, it begins a journey to discover the truth about their jobs. Now, this show did debut on Apple TV Plus, which all of them are plus, February 18th of 2022. So it's relatively new. I finally watched the entire first season thanks to using a friend's account. It has 7 episodes. Each episode continuously gets shorter and shorter. First episode's about an hour. Last episode's about 40-ish minutes. So that's a plus. Ding. The next thing is, if you like office dramas and sci-fi kind of, I wouldn't really call this a thriller, but it's kind of heady. There's pretty good performances by Adam Scott, Britt Lauer. I would say John Turturro is really good. The bad performances in this are by Patricia Arquette, which I hate to say because I usually like Patricia Arquette a whole heck of a lot. But also the other guy that I don't like in this is Zach Cherry. He plays the co-worker Dylan. This show is suspenseful. It's really good at making you want to watch the next episode because of what happens in the last 2 minutes. But there's a lot of unnecessary, I guess, visual carbohydrates, if you want to call them that. It's really filled with a bunch of nothing, and what these people do is kind of unbelievable. They just kind of see all these floating numbers, they box them, and they throw them into something. They're trying to figure out why this works. Now, the thing that is interesting is the chip in their head. They can remember what they're doing at work while they're at work, but they cannot remember their outside life while they're at work, and vice versa. Once they go down to a certain level in the elevator, you kind of see them shift, and they no longer remember work while they're outside of work. They just remember that they work there. They live in subsidized housing, and there's a lot of mysteries around Mark, played by Adam Scott, and it's interesting. It's made fairly well, but there are a lot of holes in this show for me. I don't know. It tries a bit too hard in some regard, but in some places it really does knock it out of the park. I will be surprised if this show has a second or third season. I believe it'll have a second season because it's starting to ramp up right now in popularity. But I'll be surprised. I'll be really surprised if it makes it to a third season because I just don't see how they're going to extend this story to where people will care about it long enough. I do believe that shows will get to be more and more in that vein in the near future, to where we really just see 3 to 4 seasons and we're done because there's just so much overturn in every kind of content nowadays. So the performances are pretty decent, most of them. Christopher Walken in this. There is one storyline, which I won't spoil, that's in this show that I just don't like. And there's some gags or some, it's not really storylines, but some story beats, I guess you could say, that really don't match the rest of the tone of the show. And it kind of throws you off and you just don't understand. I did find myself not wanting to watch the next episode right away. This is not a show that I wanted to binge. I just kind of wanted to get away from it and have some happiness in my life and then come back to it. It's not a scary show. It's not a sad show. They try to make you feel sad, but it really doesn't. It's just that the show is mostly okay. It's not that it's bad. It's just okay. And in the level of entertainment that we have out there nowadays, you really have to fight for people's attention. and that's why I don't see this show having 3 seasons. I feel like it'll have a second season, but I feel like people will forget that it's even coming out. They'll forget after this season. It'll take them another year or so to film another season, a second season, and then they won't remember that it's coming out. But you should watch it.